Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to make one of these. This I use, you could use them, I use them anywhere where there's super rocky area. So I particularly use them right below Bonneville Dam. Oregon, Washington side, doesn't matter. But below the dam, you know, where I'm fishing, the current is super high, the bottom is extremely rocky, and the rocks are, you know, this size, huge ass boulders, and it's obviously man-made. So once you try to fish out there, you're gonna lose a lot of gear, you're gonna get frustrated, you can get stuck. You know, you could be using, you know, these grenades, cannonballs, pyramids, you know, sinkers, whatever. It's all gonna get stuck, including these. But what I have made here is you could possibly retrieve one of these. Depending on the current, you know, I use anywhere from 10 to 8 ounces. Kind of works out pretty good with me. So the idea of this, you know, you have your rod, you know, this kind of hangs there. You set the rod, let this thing sink. Once it sinks, you put tension on the line, set the rod, put it in a rod holder, then you could deploy your fishing gear, or you could deploy all of this at the same time, you know, spin glow and everything. And the idea of it is once you set it, you know, the current takes it, and you want the whole thing to sink and be set in place directly in front of you. You don't want the stuff to keep dragging, because now you, for one, you're not fishing, and for two, you're just dragged into other people's crap, and you know everybody's gonna be pissed. So if that happens, you gotta pull your stuff out and redo it. And every time you're redoing that, re-pulling your gear, you're running a chance of snagging this. And once you snag this, you know, you're ideally hoping that if this gets snagged, that's the only thing you lose, you know. So, you know, you want to use a line from here to the rest of your setup, half of the line. Let's say I'm using 50 pounds, is gonna be 20 pounds. So if this gets jammed, you can break this off and retrieve your gear. And worst case, right, if you got the fish and your gear's stuck and this is in stock, and now you lose your gear and the fish. This is the worst thing that could happen. So now back to this. So this is a cheap way to make it. I got barbecue sticks here. They're straight. So what happens is, I have one pre-made, is you bend them out. You bend these guys nice and straight out. So it's just like that. And you got a rod the same. You could bend your tips. So let's say you chuck this thing out there, and the current is dragging it, and at the same time you're slowly reeling it. You don't want to reel it. You know, you want to let it sink, and slowly start reeling it. So we'll use these two buckets, let's say, as a boulder rock, right? So if this was a rock and this was a rock, and they're kind of like that or whatever, it's a little bit of spacing, and this thing's like way over here. So you're pulling it, and boom, now you're jammed up. So these spikes will be holding this thing, and so you put the tension and it's holding it. And that's what you want, is you want the tension so you're fishing. So, and it's sitting like this, and now when you have a fish on, it's time to retrieve it. So what happens is you run over there to a rod. Let's say you put it in a rod holder, which is what you'd have to do. Put it in a rod holder. You see your rod go to town, right? You got the fish on your rod out there, and what you want to do is just set the hook, basically. You get your rod and you set the hook almost, but what you're doing is setting the hook and hopefully breaking that loose. And the way this is going to get broken loose is when you're setting it, you're basically setting like that, and these spikies will kind of bend out, and now they're kind of like that. And so they're bouncing on any kind of bottom debris there is while you're reeling. And while you're reeling your rod, this thing is kind of bouncing away. And for one, you'll retrieve your stuff, so it's going to get unjammed, and you could retrieve the whole thing back. So the way I make them, I'll demonstrate how I make them. So I'm going to use, and the way I do it is I basically pre-make a whole bucket, and like I make 4 of them, and I go out fishing. While I'm fishing, I could make one of these. So I'm going to use an 8 ounce. These are the barbecue sticks I told you guys about. You can get them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. a whole bunch of them. So I like to use 3 spikes. You could use 4. You could use whatever you want, but I like to use 3 spikes just because it works good and it's faster to make them. So what you want to do is you grab your weight and you pre-bend them. You use pliers, you use hands, but the way you want to pre-bend them, you want to form the shape out of this thing where it follows the shape of your weight. Then the bottom is straight, and I'll show you guys why. So you basically make something like that. Doesn't have to be super perfect, but if it's pre-bent, then you have an easier way to tape this thing on. And I found the easiest way to get these things on is with the electrical tape. So you hold it with your thumb, kind of on a flat surface, grab some tape, and you just basically start it. So you start the front, boom, now that spot is being held in place. You move the hands down, get this side. So that's done. And you could basically, I should have just pre-made 3 of these in a row. That way we could move through this process a lot faster. But for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna wing it, somewhat like that. Doesn't have to be super perfect. And I skip a spot, so 1 empty, 1, then they're perfectly, they space out evenly among each other. Hold with your thumb. And right now what I'm doing is I'm basically setting them in place. So when I do go to tape everything together, they're in place. Because you want to put more pressure on the tape than what I just did. You don't want it to be loose like that. You want it to be more tight. So pre-bend it. And you could buy these pre-made. People make them. There's some websites that people make them. They're unfortunately not in the retail stores yet, but they are expensive. I think you could be looking anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks per one, which is a lot of freaking money. Considering that you could lose this easily. And I'll show you the one that's pre-made. So anyways, once you get to the bottom of this, you're putting pressure on it and you just keep rolling. And these eventually will squish together because the further down you go. And the reason I'm going down is because I'm, half of these spikes has to be somewhat, had to be held together because that's where you're going to bend them out. This tape is going to help keep them together while you're bending the spikes out. Once the tape's done, now I go back and I clean that up. Start from the top. Basically stretch and you peel. Oops. One nice solid motion. Because imagine this is in the water, it's going to be dragged on sand, rocks, and any small debris or any small pocket is just going to allow sand and rocks to get in there, and eventually it's going to work through your tape. Just one nice run. Go back, put some tension on it. Here it is. So nice and straight, done. Doesn't have to be perfect. And what I like to do is once I make these just like that, I put them in a bucket. This is the bucket that I go out there and fish. The weights that I was talking about that are pre-made, they're I mean, maybe they are worth 20 bucks, but I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. So this is basically a 5 ouncer. All it is is the same spikes, but they're drilled through and they're bent. So the way they work is you bring them back up. There's a little groove-it. They sit in that little groove-it, just like such, and here you have it. And so the idea of these is once it gets set, so this obviously is 5 ounces, so it's way smaller than what I was using. I was using an 8 and 10, so this is too small when I'm fishing. But same idea, once you let it float, and let's just say this is your bottom, and it floats, bounces, and you set her like this. So see how it's actually holding pretty good, but it's holding, I would say probably 15 pounds, 10 pounds I'm pulling on it, and it's holding. So you kind of put tension on your rod, it's holding and sitting there fishing. Fish on, boom, you pull it. And once you pull it, these guys break out. They come out of those little rivets, and they basically break out, and now they're free. So they're all floating around, and you could easily pull this out. So the cool thing about this is, you put him back into its little position, just like such, and you just reuse it, as long as you don't lose this thing. So you reuse this, and you're not constantly bending the probes. Since you're not constantly bending the probes, you're not going to wear it out, and eventually it's going to break off, and now the whole thing's ruined. So these are awesome, in my opinion, freaking badass, but they're too expensive to go, you chuck it out and freaking lose it one chuck, which happens all the freaking time, So anyways, that's the idea of these. Super cool. And people actually pre-mold some of these things themselves. So this is pre-molded, somebody made it, but more times you bend one of these, eventually it's going to just break off, and now you're left with 2 knobs, and it's just useless. And this right here, what's pre-made, I mean, these things, in my opinion, it's just too small. They're really not going to do shit. You're just going to pull it out. These are okay, but they're still too small. But if you chuck one of these out, man, you got a lot of freaking spacing to cover. And you could throw a zip tie here. You could use tie wire. Put some tie wire and twist that up there, make it more stirrable. Another thing people use out there is a railroad spike. So these used to be all over the place, and it works really good. But it's illegal to go out on the railroad and pick, go look for them. They just made that illegal. You can't be out there looking for them things. But the way this works is the same thing. You put your mono line, you put about 12 inches, chuck it out there, and let it, you let it sit. And if you lose one of these, you lose it. Who cares? But they're just rare. You can't really find them. You can buy them, but in my opinion, if you're gonna buy one of these, that's the only place you're gonna use them is out somewhere like that. But it's just a method. I mean, if you guys live in a remote area or by the railroad, keep in mind that it is illegal to do that, to walk on the railroads and look for stuff, but people still do it. And if you ever ask where'd you get it, you could still buy them on Amazon. You could buy them in, I don't know, maybe a garage sale, but don't say you found them on the railroad. That's gonna get you in trouble. So here you guys have it. Simple way to make them. And if you use a pyramid weight like this, if you use a cannonball like that, you can. Just keep in mind, more than 50%, literally more than 50%, you're going to lose it. So unless you have some cheap weights, you could just do that. I personally don't have the luxury of finding cheap weights, so I don't do that. And people use these. You use all kinds of stuff. But this is probably the best, simplest method I found that actually works, because of these spikes are super long. Gives you a lot of chances to get things, and you're just holding on to whatever the bottom debris of your surface river is. So here you guys have it.